Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion, and a bit of an arcade game for you today, but on the Amiga. Yes, an AGA as well, which is great. Bomb Jack. Yes, and look at it with your eyes, because looking at it with your nose would just be plain strange, wouldn't it, really? Anyway, nice little release, this one, actually. I think this is as arcade perfect as it's ever going to be, and you know, the Amiga was quite capable of it, but you know, it's the same with all the other systems at the moment, is that people are just figuring out what they can and can't do, and there are little loopholes and all sorts of things now that people are discovering to make the machines, well, act to their full potential, I suppose, especially the ZX Spectrum as of late, and even the C64 and, well, the Amstrad, oh sod it, all of them. There's some cracking games. In fact, there's a really good Kung Fu Master remake coming for the Amiga in hopefully this year. There's a playable demo of that. I might have a look at it actually, unless you'd like me to wait for the full game, but yeah. Maybe I could do like sneak previews on the channel too. Maybe that could be a new feature, where if I get some playable demos, we can have a look at what's to come. But let me know in the comments if that's something that you'd like to see. I would obviously like to try and do as much as I can to keep the content nice and fresh. But there you go. Yeah, so Bomb Jack on the Amiga. It is for 1,200 and 4,000. That is the system requirements, but it doesn't need a lot to run. But it's lovely. Look at it. I mean, you wouldn't think it was AGA, but I just love the colour palette. It's amazing and very colourful. Well, let's have a look at the UI. So you've got side 1 and side 2. Now, I don't know if this is 2 players simultaneously or not, or whether it's turn-based, but it does appear to suggest that there is a 2-player option here. And, but maybe, I don't know, maybe we can have a look at that at a different time. But it does seem to suggest that there is a 2-player mode. But animations are really smooth. There's no slowdown with the amount of enemies on the screen. They've done a really good job on this, actually. I mean, like I said, this is closest to the arcade you're going to get on the Amiga, and why not? I mean, Bomb Jack's a great game, and will keep you busy for a long, long time. Now, they've managed to get all the backgrounds in. They've managed to get the levels pretty much arcade perfect. Yeah, it's a really good game. Bomb Jack was one of the first games I ever played on the ZX Spectrum. A little bit of knowledge and trivia for you there. I think my very first game I ever played on the ZX Spectrum was Hunchback 2. And then I got Bomb Jack as part of the Elite pack. I think it came with Frank Bruno's boxing and something else, which was quite cool at the time. And I don't think I've covered Bomb Jack on the Spectrum yet, but it's on my to-do list, I'm sure it is. Anyway, this game is tricky. Tricky. Just for the fact that the screen can... oh, look, Leo's got some really good scores there. It's tricky just for the fact that there's a lot going on the screen at once. Very difficult sometimes to avoid said things on screen. But that's the whole purpose of the game. It's an arcade game conversion. And, you know, for the ability to put your coins into the arcade machines, they needed to make it challenging. Now, it's quite cool because when you do pick up an invincibility pill, it's a bit like Pac-Man. The enemies turn into a different colour. You can go and then just eat them up, or whatever you're doing to them. You also get bonuses if you collect the lit bombs in order, which is not an easy task, I'm going to say, because they don't come in any logical order of ignition. So you might have one on the right-hand side of the screen, the next one's over on the far left. But that's part of the genius of the game, that you've got to think and sort of plot your route around the screen. And it works really well. I think if you collect a set amount of bombs, lit bombs, you get some sort of bonus, I think. Maybe extra life or something like that. But there you are. So your lives are in the bottom left-hand corner, and the round number that you're on is there in the middle, with the high score on the bottom right. Your score is in the top left, and obviously there's a 2-player option. Then you'll find that on the top right-hand of your screen. I can't think there's not a 2-player option. It doesn't make any sense otherwise, does it? Now, that sort of birdie thing, that follows you around all the time. So it makes your game a lot more challenging. Once the enemies hit the floor, they sometimes morph into harder enemies to avoid, and they get quicker, and yeah, like I said, harder to get out of the way of. Yeah, so you get these bonus coins come down as well, which will increase your score. And yeah, so you want to get the highest score, as highest score as possible, and progress through the rounds. Now the music's nice on the game as well. You've got all these different well-known tunes, actually. I mean, Lady Madonna's one of them, and from the Beatles, no less. And yeah, it's quite nice to hear different theme tunes for different levels. It does repeat after a while, but that's not a problem at all. Look at this UFO, mental this is. So those power pills come in handy, I've got to tell you. Controls are nice and easy as well, actually. It's literally left and right. Up is to jump a little bit higher when you press the fire button, and then once you push fire, you jump. If you tap it, you'll jump lower, and if you hold it, you'll jump higher. And then if you tap the fire button as you're floating, as you're falling, you'll sort of do a little sort of cape flap type animation, and it will just slow your descent, which is quite nice. You can cancel your flight as well. So if you do end up that you fly too high up the screen and you're on a collision course, press the fire button again, and it will cancel the current trajectory of your jump. And yeah. So there's quite a lot of options here. You go, I've got 20 fire bombs, so we get bonus points, which is always nice. The presentation of the game is really nice, and the playability is absolutely spot on. Replay value is definitely there because it is a challenge, and I think you would enjoy it. And you know, you could turn it into a party game with friends, not a problem at all on that front. And you know, pass the controller, 2-player mode, whatever you want to do. Just go and have fun with the game. It is a great game. And it really does bring back that retro feeling of loading Bomb Jack up in the first place. Bit of trivia for you, actually. Bomb Jack 2 on the, I think it was the Amiga or the Spectrum, was supposed to be Thundercats, because if you listen to the music in the game, it does sound very much like Thundercats. But then Thundercats got its own game, which was something else, and I think Beyond the Ice Palace was also going to be a Thundercats game, but again, something to do with licensing, I believe. But yeah, there's maybe Thundercats is a game we can look at in the future, perhaps. I think it was released on most platforms, as was Bomb Jack. Let's get back to our game. So yeah, age range is pretty much any. It's going to be frustrating maybe for the younger player after a while, but you know what, the colours and the just jumping around the screen will keep them entertained, as it will you. If you remember Bomb Jack when you were growing up as a child and whatever system you had it on, this will revitalise those memories, and I suggest you go and get it. It's free! It's free! So I will provide you with a download link as well, and you can go and grab it and play it yourselves. Works on a real Amiga, or it works on emulation, whichever you want to do it on. You have options. And isn't it nice to have options on retro games, that you can actually play them on real hardware, or you can play them on emulation? Anyway, I think that about wraps up Bomb Jack AGA. I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you have, remember to leave a like, and if you fancy leaving me a comment, please do so. I reply to everybody, and that's kind of what I do. Let's have a little chat about Bomb Jack. Did you have it as a child? Have you recently played Bomb Jack on a different system? Did you ever finish Bomb Jack? I don't even know if there was a completion point, but if you did, let me know. And yeah, so I will see you very soon, guys, for a brand new review. I have another MSX game coming for you. It is Pac-Mania, and that's coming very soon. Until then, my friends, you keep it retro, and as always, it's, you know, bye for now. Ta-da!